Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ilman Bisham and I will be demonstrating Arduino task 1. So this is the figure or the circuit for task 1. So the objective is to just test the program. So I will be constructing this circuit consisting of Arduino, 220 ohm resistor, and 1 LED and a ground. Okay, moving on into Proteus. So I will be constructing, this is the components needed. So Arduino first, and next the 220 ohm resistor and a yellow LED. So the resistor will be connected to pin number 13. I will need ground connected to the LED. Okay, so in this lab sheet we need to find the programming. So this is the programming needed for task 1. Need to copy it and paste it into Arduino IDE and verify. So the compiling is done. You need to copy the programming and paste it here in the Arduino Uno. So okay, and we will run the circuit. So as you can see, the LED yellow is blinking. With the delay of 1 second, as you can see here. So 1 second on and 1 second off, and as long the circuit is run, the LED will still turn on and turn off with the delay of 1 second. Okay, and that is.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Shahira. Now I will present about task 3, which consists of 2 exercises, exercise 1 and exercise 2. I will start with exercise 1. First, I will construct the circuit, which I will use Arduino Uno, LED green, red, yellow and resistor. Connect LED red to pin 11, LED yellow to pin 12, and LED green to pin 13. Change the resistor value to 220 ohm. I have already done the coding for exercise 1. Now we compile it. Start the simulation. It can be seen when I start the simulation, the 3 LED were turn on every 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds, all of them were turned off. and the cycle was repeated all over again after another 2 seconds. And now we stop the simulation and move to exercise 2. We still use the same circuit, just different coding. I also already done the coding for exercise 2, and now we compile it. Copy the hex file name. Start to simulate. Okay, when I start the simulation, LED red was turned on and it turned off after 2 seconds. At the same time, LED yellow was turned on and it turned off after 2 seconds. And this continued until LED green. After LED green turned off, the cycle was repeated after another 2 seconds. Next, for task 4. For this test, we need to modify the program based on experiment 3, which I will use 7 LED instead of 3. I already construct the circuit, which I use Arduino Uno, LED green, and resistor. Okay, each LED was connected to each pin 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 with 220 ohm resistor respectively to the ground. And now move to the coding. I already set up the coding for task 4 exercise 1. Now we compile. Copy the hex file. Start the simulation. So it can be seen the outcome was same as experiment 3. When I start the simulation, all of the LED were turned on every 2 seconds in sequence and turned off after 2 seconds. And the cycle was repeated after another 2 seconds. And now we stop the simulation and move to exercise 2. Okay. This is the coding for exercise 2. Now we compile it. Copy the hex file. Start the simulation. When I start the simulation, LED 1 was turned on and turned off after 2 seconds. At the same time, the next LED was turned on and this continued until D7. And the cycle was repeated after another 2 second delay. Okay, next we need to modify the program so that the program will only run when the button is pressed. First condition, which is for task 5, when the button is triggered once, the program will run one cycle from LED A to LED G, then all the LED will turn off, waiting for the button trigger to run another cycle. I already built the circuit which I use Arduino Uno, push button, LED green, and resistor. Each LED was connected to each pin 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 with 220 ohm resistor respectively to the ground. At pin 2, I connect with push button attached with 5 volt power. At pin 2 also I connect with 10k ohm resistor to the ground. Okay, I already set up for the coding for task 5. And we compile it. Then copy the hex file and paste it here. Yes. Start to simulate and press the button once. Okay, so it can be seen here when I press the button once, the LED was turned on from D1 to D7 in sequence, and then all of them were turned off. And when I press the button once again, the cycle was restart all over again.
So this is my circuit for task 6. So basically we need an Arduino, 7 resistor and also 7 LED, a button switch and ground and also ground. So I already made the coding for this circuit. So this is the coding. So we need to extract it. So then we go back to our Proteus. So press and we need to run for the file. So then we press OK. So we can run the simulation for this. We press. So it will start blinking from LED 1 to LED 7. So that's all from me for task 6. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Haziq from group 2, team 2. So this is basically my Arduino circuit in Proteus. So consists of Arduino Uno, resistor and also LED and oscilloscope. So this is task for task 7. So let's jump to the coding. So this is the coding that I have done before this. So we use the 25 for the 10%, 127 for the 50% and 230 for 90%. So we need to export the file. So then we go to the Proteus back and use the file that been saved. So okay, so we can run the simulation. So we need to show the digital oscilloscope. So basically this is for the 10% and this is for the 50%. You can see the observation on the LED, and also this is for the 90%. So that's all for the simulation. So jump on our lab sheet. So how can we relate PWM and also the Blink program? So Blink program, we use the highest and the lowest, which means 0 and 100%. So for the Blink program, when the LED is low, it show 0%, and when the LED is high, it show 100%. So for the PWM, we can use any number from 0 to 100%. So which in this experiment we use 10%, 50% and also 90%. So how the color of RGB light, RGB LED can be varied. So it can be varied by the percent of the cycle. So that's all from me for task 7. Thank you.
So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Bekb and I will be demonstrating the experiment B task 9. So you are required to control a DC motor with a single push button, and then there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times needed to push the button, and each time the button is pushed, there will be increased 25% of the speed, and in the final push, which is the 5th time, the motor will be off. And then this is the circuit that I will be constructing here. And moving on into the coding, this is the coding that I have already done. as you can see here, this is the command where 25% speed increase, 50, 75%, and 100%, and lastly will be turned off. And I will be copying this part of the coding and moving on into Proteus. So this is the Proteus. I have already constructed the circuit, so consisting of Arduino Uno and 2 resistor. One is 220 ohm, another one is 10 kilo ohm resistor, one single push button, voltage source with a 5 volt, motor with a meter, so green LED and a diode and a transistor. So after that, I will copy the coding that I have I will paste the coding that I have copied earlier, paste it into the Arduino Uno. Okay, and then I will run the simulation. So push it for the first time. As you can see, the green LED is emitting, indicates that the motor is running. And second time, you can see the speed is increasing. To be exact, is to 50% speed. The third time, 75%. The fourth time, it's increasing, and the final push, and the final push, the motor is turned off. Okay, and that is all from me for task 9.